Hey guys, Brandon here. Thought I'd make a video here of a couple of the Ford gear sets for the 8/8s. I get a lot of questions on these, so thought I'd just make a little video real quick to get you guys an idea of some of the differences here. So right here I got 3 sets of gears. All of these are Ford gears. These 2 over here are actual Ford racing gears, and this is a used OEM gear set. So first off, this is a 327 OEM Ford gear set out of an OEM Ford differential. These can usually be had online for anywhere from say 50 to 75 bucks for a used set in good working condition. Basically get the pinion and ring gear. Kind of got to watch out to make sure you're actually getting an OEM Ford gear set. Pay close attention to the description to make sure it's not something else. I personally recommend Ford gears whenever possible. Only time I deviate from that is if it is a oddball ratio that somebody's requesting that isn't made by Ford, and in that case I'll usually go with a Motiv or perhaps a US gear set. But for the price, the Ford gears are pretty much one of the best priced options out there, and for the quality, it just makes it a no-brainer. So again, here you have a used 327 gear set. You can see there's no real chips or issues here. It's in pretty good condition. I think I paid maybe 65 bucks for these, but usually on the OEM used gear sets, you can see some sort of evidence that this came from Ford. For example, here you can see the Ford logo cast into the pinion itself, and you can see that's a 327. Also with the ring gear, you can kind of see along the edge, you can see the Ford logo stamped right into it. So it gives you peace of mind knowing that you did buy an actual OEM Ford gear set, not some sort of Chinese knockoff. Here we have the same gear set. This is a brand new 327 gear set from Ford Racing. On the Ford Racing gear sets, there may not always be Ford stamped into it, but you can feel confident that it is a Ford Racing brand gear set because it comes in a big Ford Racing box. The gears are very similar to the OEM. A couple differences you might notice is if you just look at the bottom, you can actually notice that the tips of these are lapped a bit compared to the OEM. And if you look at them face on, you almost see the opposite, where the tips of the Ford Racing are kind of pointy and they're lapped on the OEM. Those are really some of the most noticeable differences that can be observed, but otherwise they are not all that different. And if you're on a budget, finding a good set of used gears for say 50 bucks versus a brand new set for say 160 bucks, there's a little bit of savings to be had there as long as you're getting legit OEM stuff. Last kit I got here is actually a Ford Racing 427 gear set. I'm sorry, 410 gear set. You can see right on there it says Ford 10. This one, you can actually see Ford stamped into it. You can actually see there's quite a size difference between the 420 or the 410 and the 327s. A little bit different to give you that different ratio. One thing to point out with this particular set is this is actually rem treated, which more or less means it's been mirror polished to get rid of any sort of inconsistencies, any sort of roughness from casting, which really isn't a big deal, but if you're trying to squeeze everything out of this and make it as strong as possible, rem treating can help. So again, these say Ford on them. Backside just basically tells you the 410. There's no Ford logo stamped on it, but again, it comes in a Ford Racing box, so you can feel comfortable knowing you did get a legit Ford Racing gear set. And You can kind of see the 410s come with a little bit of a radius and lap tip here on the end, compared to some of the 327s, or the 327s. So that's it. Just I'd show you a couple gear sets showing what the Ford 8.8 gear sets look like. Again, used OEM, $50 to $75, and these are Ford Racing, which usually come in around anywhere from $150 to $175, depending on which ratio you're going for. Brand new. All right, that is it. Thanks.